We got to talk about my boy Jordan Love.
Man.
And we got to talk about your boy Tua Tagovailoa.
Yep.
So Tua Tagovailoa signed a 4-year, $212 million contract.
Yep.
$167 million guaranteed. Then Jordan Love followed, 4 years, $220 million extension. This is right after Tua signed. So it's $55 million a year. But for Love, it's really $160 total guaranteed. And I always go to the guaranteed money, right, T?
Yep.
This is what set Jordan Love's contract aside. It's a backloaded deal. It's only going to be around $40 million a year for the Packers, $40 to $41 million. $75 million signing bonus, a new NFL record. This is amazing. Both guys, and I know this is a very polarizing signing for both players. I wouldn't give this money. I don't think Tua Tagovailoa is a $40 million guy a year.
Yep.
But you know what he is? He's a quarterback that executes that system, knows it, is familiar with it. He's in the building, and that's a guy that busts his butt to get out there. Everyone can say how snake bitten he is, the receivers he has. He still executes that playbook at a high level. These are two guys that played the leverage of, I'm a quarterback, you're going to pay me, I'm not giving a hometown discount.
Yeah, Tua, listen, I think Tua actually hit the lottery more so than the Dolphins did. Because we understand it, and you and I have talked about this. When Brian Flores was his coach, he looked like he didn't even belong in the NFL to me.
Brian Flores hated Tua.
Well, regardless of their interpersonal communication, I'm talking about the player on the field stunk. And it looked like Tua belonged in the XFL to me. Now, he gets an offensive-minded guru, young head coach, and all of a sudden, Tua gets paid. So, I actually thought, and I told you this, I thought the Dolphins would be wise to not pay him at all and to just reset, whether they draft a kid or go out and get a veteran and pay them instead, like a Dak Prescott or somebody. I'm just throwing out a name to come in with that system who's more dynamic than Tua. So I look at this deal, even though it is a win-win across the board, the Dolphins, it's not like he's the highest paid player in the league. The Dolphins still have money to do other things. But I think Tua benefits the most from this deal because he is not deserving of that deal at all. It is a system in place. They just love him. He's a great dude. When he's healthy, he can execute said system. But I don't know if he's good enough to take you over the hump. Jordan Love, on the other hand, although I want to see a larger sample size, at least I have seen enough to see, okay, this kid could be the truth. And that's really all these contracts. You start going down all these names, Trevor Lawrence, that's another one. I don't know if I've seen enough. Jordan Love, we're talking about Joe Burrow. Can he stay healthy is now the question there.
Bring up your boy Jared Goff.
Tua, Jared Goff, I'll throw him in there.
Game manager, product of the system and situation.
He's up there. Justin Herbert, Lamar, Jalen Hurts, all these guys got paid, right?
Yeah.
0 for 3 in a Super Bowl. When you start talking about these young quarterbacks, the playoff record's under 500. I mean, you're paying these young quarterbacks now, you're paying for hope. You are hoping that they can take you to the promised land.
Yeah, you predict that they're going to grow and progress and develop.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. That's what you're doing. So, Jordan Love, I understand. Tua, I thought, when I first saw it, I said, lucky Tua, good for him.
I agree with the same way. This is also, to me, a bargain for the Dolphins because you have to pay the tax of the quarterback.
Right.
If you'd rather have a guy than nobody.
Yes.
And they have Tua Tagovailoa. What did you say? He can execute the system.
He can.
He can do it. Shows up, he's healthy, he can do it. Can he do it in a playoff game? Can he do it in cold weather? Can he do it against good teams? That's still yet to be seen.
Right.
But out of those guys you listed, there was a Lamar Jackson, there was a Justin Herbert, and there was a Joe Burrow. Those are guys I would pay. They have the ability. They have the wherewithal. They have the mental toughness that you want in a quarterback, and they have the pure ability and talent. Jordan Love has that too. I know. The 8-game sample size, 18 touchdowns, 1 interception to close out the regular season, then threw 3 tutters in a road playoff win against the Cowboys, right?
Yep.
272 yards.
Yep.
And everyone's going, but he only played 8 games. This is going to be a bargain for the Packers. Because what if he came out and did this again for the next 8 to 17 games. You know what he's going to get, Trav? 60 to 65 million a year. He's going to get that Dak Prescott money. This was a smart signing by the Packers with all their main offensive weapons and receivers and tight ends on rookie scale, team-controlled contracts. And when you look into the numbers for what Jordan Love is as an athletic guy, and that system's not going anywhere because Matt LaFleur is staying. He's the head coach. You don't have to worry about your offensive coordinator getting hired off like you have to in other places. 9th highest total value. This is Jordan Love's deal. 9th highest total guarantee. $55 million a year annual. That's the gaudy number, but $75 million signing bonus is a real one.
Yep.
Then if you go into his analytic numbers, 8th highest graded passer out of starting quarterbacks in the NFL. 8th best and big time throw percentage, tied with Brock Purdy.
Yep.
4th highest average depth of target in the NFL. So that means he's an explosive passer and goes for the big plays. And he's bottom half of the NFL, bottom quarter of the NFL in turnover-worthy plays. He can make the big throws. He can run the system. He's athletic. He has a chemistry with your young receivers that are under team control for the next 3 to 4 years.
Yep.
He knows your system. He doesn't turn the ball over. And with this, they are predicting his growth and development in Jordan Love. He's going to be a superstar in the NFL. He has that capability to be a top 5 talent. What did he do the last 4 years? Sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Was drafted in 2020, sat 3 years, finally year 4 came in and been the starter. What did Tua do? Sat year 1, started the last 3 years, and he's looked okay. They both had their franchises by the stones. They knew they had the leverage because they're not running backs, they're not receivers, they're not corners, they're quarterbacks. And the Dolphins and Packers knew they would rather have a quarterback than nobody, and they had to get these deals done. And they are smart because they got them done before Dak Prescott got paid.
Right. Yeah, listen, I'll be honest with you, bro. Here's where I'm at. I think the winner of the NFC, the winner of the conference, is going to come out of the North. Every quarterback in that division is elite except J.J. McCarthy, who we're not sure yet.
We don't even know if he's going to be a starter, T.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We just don't know anything about him. But I have faith in Caleb. As you know, I think the Bears will be a wild card team. And I certainly believe that the Lions or the Packers are going to win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl. Now, that's just what I think. I happen to believe it's the Lions, but if you told me it's the Packers, I wouldn't bat an eye at all at that. So I think for the NFC now, I'm looking at a 49er team that's knocked so many times on the Super Bowl door and it hasn't opened for them. I just don't think it is. I don't. I know everyone thinks I'm nuts for saying this. I think that team regresses this season. I don't know if I could trust Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, even though I love their offseason. Don't even get me started about Dak and the Cowboys, please. They're fugazi. I think it's between the Lions and the Packers, and maybe the Bears as a sleeper, depending what that defense can do now with Montez Sweat. So I believe that the winner of the NFC is coming out of that North Division. It's going to be Jordan Love or Jared Goff.
And even think about the Packers' defensive setup. Rashawn Gary's there. Kenny Clark's not going anywhere.
Right.
Jair Alexander is there. They went out and got Xavier McKinney on the free agency market, who's a good free safety, a good coverage
Good
safety.
offensive line, too, always, George.
Good offensive line. Christian Watson, can he stay healthy? But even if he can't, it's Jaden Reed, it's Romeo Doubs, it's Dontavian Wicks, it's Luke Musgrave, all these weapons. They went out and signed the kid from Las Vegas. Oh, my God. How can
Josh Jacobs.
Thank you, my friend.
I got
almost said Jordan Jacobs. I knew it was wrong, at least on that one. This Packers team is loaded up. And then the Lions went out and completely assessed their defense.
That's right.
They went offense in last draft.
I'm telling you.
But they got Brian Branch, who's the gem of that draft for them, along with Jahmyr Gibbs and Musgrave and Laporta and all that.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's the NFC North. It's Bears, Lions, Packers. You look at the NFC West, it's 49ers, maybe the Rams. I don't believe in the Falcons out of the South. The Cardinals aren't a play. They're not a serious playoff team.
Yeah, not a Super Bowl. They could be a wild card team, maybe.
And then out of the AFC, it's the gauntlet. It's going to be the Chiefs.
Yes.
It could be the Bengals. We'd see if Joe Burrow stays healthy.
We'll see.
Or if your boy Lamar steps up.